Creative Commons is a method for creators of intellectual property to give users specific permissions to use that piece of intellectual property. Creative Commons involves a license that you can affix to your piece of intellectual property that will limit or determine what can be done with that property. The motivations for Creative Commons were first that traditional means of copyright were very inflexible. There was only one type of copyright, so everything is copyrighted in exactly the same way. The second is that the use of intellectual property is often determined by a legal procedure, so that potentially every time someone uses intellectual property, even if it's legal, it's potential that someone could sue them. So in order to reduce the litigiousness of this relationship between creator and user, a group of mostly lawyers, surprisingly, created this alternative system. So there are a number of factors that involved in Creative Commons, and you choose one or more of these factors, whichever you feel most comfortable with. Probably the most basic factor is just attributing the intellectual property. This one means that the user can do anything they want with it, but they have to attribute it. Now, you can have nothing on it and say you don't need attribution. The second one, a different way, is what they call no derivatives. So this has to do with the integrity of your piece and whether you want it used and changed or modified in some ways. And particularly in English language teaching, there are a number of ways that teachers may want to change yours. They may want to translate it, they may want to add exercises to it, and you can determine whether you want somebody to do this or not. Another factor is commercial. Do you want people to be able to make money with your creation? A lot of people say, well, I didn't get paid for it, therefore I don't want anyone else to get paid for it. Or you can say, I don't care. If you can make money off of this, more power to you. And the next factor here is what they call share alike. That means that if you do something with that piece, then everyone else can use it in the same way. So you can't here charge, in fact, but you have to allow other people to use your new creation just as you use the original creation. So here it's commercial is not specified, but sharing is. So here, this one, for example, you would have to attribute the intellectual property and share it in the same way that you used it. And this is simply one where you attribute it and you say no commercial use. But what you do with it is up to you, but just that you cannot make money off of it. And here's a little more strict one, where you want attribution, no profit, non-commercial, and no derivatives. That means people cannot use it put it in another one or use it and change it in any way. So if you're interested in getting Creative Commons, this is their website. What you're going to do is when it says create a license, you simply click what attribute you want. You can automatically create the license from that, and either you can save the image that's created, and if you're doing like a screencast like this, you could attach the image, or if you had a website, they'll give you HTML code that you can insert. Thank you.